We're now joined by the granddaddy of exposing the Bilderberg Group, and he's got to be proud of himself. 33, 34 years covering it, going to every conference, being shot at in Portugal, you name it, being harassed, being arrested, being detained, going from the New York Times and Time Magazine just 10 years ago saying he was a nut and it didn't exist, to hundreds of newspapers, Germany, England, Australia, Spain, where the global government leaders are meeting. It is now mainstream news, and he's got moles inside, and he's there on the ground outside Barcelona as the world government meets. Jim Tucker, good to have you on with us.
Oh, always fun.
Jim, I know you're busy and exhausted, but just...
Hold on just a minute while I reach down and grab my satchel, because I got information you want. Just bear with me a minute.
Yeah, and literally, folks, he's so mobbed by reporters, and he is not a spring chick, as they say, and he literally has been fighting to even get to his hotel room for about 30 minutes just to even be on with us. So we just got him as he got to his room, and he's getting his satchel. He wasn't quite ready, and we're going to get him to give us his, because he's got the real. Some people claim they have Bilderberg sources. He's got them on the inside and on the outside, so this is a big scoop we're about to get. Jim, do you have your satchel?
Yes, now I'm ready.
Okay, sir. Give us the lowdown. Who's attending, what the agenda is, what your huge breaking news is, and, of course, the newspaper is American Free Press, AmericanFreePress.net. Go ahead.
Okay. One very interesting development, which is encouraging, is that some of the major Bilderberg people are saying that many, quote, important people, quote, are not attending this year. They'll always find out, and we get in trouble at home. Politicians who are embarrassed when constituents call and say, why are you dealing with these monsters and so forth? That's a fun thing. They're also celebrating the fact that your President Obama has signed off on the international treaty which would allow the UN to come into your house and take your gun away. The European bureaucrat. It's some kind of treaty called the National Guns Treaty or something under the UN.
Yeah, it's a small arms ban treaty. So they're pushing that at this disgusting, treasonous event.
Absolutely. And the evil thing about this, he might pull a little George Bush and say it's not a treaty, it's just an agreement. But if it's a treaty, as you know, under our Constitution, the treaty is the superior law of the land. That's why George Washington said, don't have any treaties. Don't have enemies. Be neutral. Be friendly with all nations and partial to none.
Well, Jim, to expand on that, what about the euro? Do they want to plunge the euro to bring in the SDR, or are they there trying to prop up the euro?
Oh, they're determined to save the euro, and they're nervous about it, though, of course, with the economic crisis. But the euro is important because it's a part of their world government program. They're very discouraged, thank goodness. They're very downbeat because they've fallen so far behind. As I said before, in the 1990s, Bilderberg was absolutely confident that we'd have an American Union, pattern after the European Union, and the Asian Pacific Union would be well underway. And they've fallen back, they've fallen behind, and they're very discouraged, but they're still persisting on climate change, as futile as that might be. As you know, the real scientists have shown and demonstrated, we're talking about climatologists, experts in the field, who are...
yeah, they got caught in climate gate. They know it's a fraud. It's about taking over resources. So you're saying that's a big agenda. What about Bill Gates in attendance? We know he's always pushing eugenics and climate change. The Spanish newspapers are reporting that they caught up with him, trying to basically sneak in, claiming he was in Barcelona for something else, and then he said he's there to push climate taxes.
Yes, he is, and he's attended one Bilderberg meeting in the past, and this is his second Bilderberg meeting. Definitely they're going to push the climate change, even though they're so far behind on that with the scientists' letters proving this whole thing is a fraud. In fact, one Bilderberg guy said that on climate change, we're about whipped. That's quote on climate change.
We're about whipped. Incredible.
About whipped.
Incredible breaking news. And when will we be able to read this in detail at AmericanFreePress.net?
It's a very, well, I'm not sure how fast they get things on the internet. I'm not high tech. I'm a romantic.
Okay, but I mean, more details will be there, and we're very appreciative of the newspaper allowing you to share your huge scoops with us. Again, the granddaddy of exposing this arm of the global government right up at the top of the pyramid. Jim Tucker. Also, I talked to Charlie Skelton of the London Guardian, who was there when they kicked him out. He overheard the head organizers saying they were mad at me for bullhorning them, that they were scared, and he said that dovetailed with your intel. This is the first time ever that a bunch of them haven't attended because they're scared of being associated with Bilderberg. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's a fact. Came to me from a source who knows the Bilderberg people. He's done business with him. When I first talked to him about Bilderberg 20-some years ago, he said, "Oh, Pete Sutherland, yes. He's an international financial consultant. I dare not go beyond that in describing him, but he's helped us find Bilderberg over the years. He's confirmed events and so forth, and they are determined to push climate change. There's more, let's see, scan through notes here, but they're doing more propaganda on alleged climate change even as we speak. And a consumer note, of course, British Petroleum and all the Shell and the other big international oil companies have long been Bilderberg luminaries, and they are competitors, but they're still a brotherhood. So they have agreed to allow Obama to be outraged and talk about criminal procedures against BP, but he's also referred to as one of our brothers among the oil industry, which has long been heavily represented.
So it's going to be a bunch of talk like the AIG charges they've now dropped in the Goldman Sachs, much ado about nothing, putting on a show. What about oil prices? What about the dollar? I mean, it sounds like from your past reportage, they're going from being in control and planning the future to just trying to maintain control.
They're trying to maintain control. Now, their plan is for the gas prices go down and be nice and cheap this summer. In the months ahead, they could go up to $4 a gallon, starting probably around November, some such time. They're saying that we have to do some pacification here, but then that's why they still maintain production of oil at only 80%, not 100% of easy capacity. So for every 100 barrels that could be produced today, only 80 barrels are being produced to generate a future shortage. There's no shortage at the moment.
Yeah, they're creating artificial scarcity. Jim, such precious time with you. What does this mean? I mean, how big is this that quite a few members, and do you have any intel on basic numbers? I mean, what percentage? 10%, 20%? I mean, this is obviously a crisis if they can't get their luminaries there.
You want to roll down list of confirmed participants so far?
Well, I mean, any notables? We know who the regulars are, but is there any notable politician being groomed, like Mr. Cameron, who was groomed a few years ago?
Let's see. We know that Gessner was to be in South Korea for the G20 Friday and Saturday. He may show up on Sunday or Monday, but nevertheless, Larry Summers will be there, now an advisor to your president. Let's see, do you need more names of...
No, that's fine. Let me shift gears again. What about Iran? Anything about Iran? Israel's got nuke subs. They're saying they may attack. You've had the attack on the flotilla. The Israel-Iran flotilla. Anything on that?
Yes, on the flotilla thing. They're a bit skittish about that now, and Bilderberg is not 100% in favor of U.S. airstrikes on Iran, but many of them are. Wars generate money. No matter what the war, good guys, bad guys, or whatever. In all of our wars, we've had profiteering scandals on both sides. In most wars, there's no all white hats against all black hats.